blessing. All those in our community. Pray.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice.
All right, welcome everybody. Going to our agenda, Mayor's report. Mayor Davis, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I only have one thing, and that's the credit card report. To refresh your memory, the things that we look for are receipts attached, receipts signed, receipts detailed, was the card used locally, and how many times was it used, and the amount. Good report this month. Fire department, it's all good. Assessor, all good. Sheriff department, all good. The mayor, all good, and EMA, all good. Other than that, the only thing I have is I do have one item to add to your budget amendment packet before at the end of it, however you want to do that.
Another amendment?
Another amendment,
Okay.
yes.
Any questions for the mayor? Well, Mayor, I'll ask one quick one. Where are we at on the purchase of the SBCA land? Is it last I heard that we were still waiting on survey or something like that?
My understanding is they have, yes, we've got the survey back, and they have applied for rezoning. So I guess we'll go through that process.
Okay, so they have applied for rezoning with the planning commission, so it should be on their agenda next
In
month.
March, yeah.
Any other questions for the mayor? Seeing none, we'll go to our budget amendments. Budget amendment 1. Mayor, you want to take yours up first or wait?
Let me pass it out, and then we can do it at the end, if that's okay.
All right.
If you want to, while it's coming around, it's a simple one. It's a $1,500 check, actually a donation coming to the county, and the amendment is merely increasing revenue by $1,500 and putting it in the appropriate line, which is for the disc golf construction.
Oh, yeah.
This is one. There'll be other donations coming, but this is the first one, or I believe the first one. Second one, you'd already done the TVA one.
Correct. All right, we're going to take up the mayor's amendment here, or I call it the mayor's amendment. It's increasing revenue, increasing expenses, so it's coming in. It's a donation, so we always appreciate that. And you see the supporting documentation there attached. Very good. Do I have a motion to accept the amendment as presented? I have a motion from Commissioner Winters. Do I have a second? I have a second from Commissioner Slater. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Passes 4 and 1 absent. There we go. All right, Mayor. That takes care of that one. Going to PDF here, County Mayor. He's decreasing the fund balance. And remember, we're in Fund 128 right here. So that's the art money. $24,894. This is the one that we've already approved for the site development for Tri-State. So this is just the accounting piece that needs to happen. Do I have a motion to accept the amendment as presented? I have a motion from Commissioner Mason. I have a second from Commissioner Winters. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Passes 4-0 and 1 absent. Is that the right way to say it? Thank you. Moving on to the next budget amendment. Also from the County Mayor's Office, still in Fund 128. $20,000 is decreasing the fund balance. And it's going to Family Promise. Again, we've already approved all of these through a motion that was accepted by the full commission. This is just the accounting piece of $20,000 here. Do I have a motion to accept the amendment as presented? I have a motion from Commissioner Winters. I have a second from Commissioner Slater. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Passes 4-0 with 1 absent. Moving on to the next budget amendment. We're still in 128. This is $20,000 going to Habitat. Bless you. 20,000 again, already approved. Do I have a motion to accept the amendment? I have a motion from Commissioner Slater. I have a second from Commissioner Mason. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Passes 4-0, 1 absent. And we're still in 128, 15,000. This is going towards. This is where we asked the mayor, instead of using their funds, to use the art money for the purchase of the vehicle. So This is already voted on as well. Amendment of decreasing the fund balance out of 128 going into American Rescue 58. Yep, same thing. Do I have a motion to accept the amendment as presented from Commissioner Slater? I have a second from Commissioner Winters. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Passes 4-0 with one absent. Moving on to the next budget amendment. Before we get there, Mayor, I didn't know why we had this document here on expenditures. Do you guys have this? It's basically budget 7123. Do you have it? You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about?
This is the workers' comp that you said that you wanted fixed.
Oh, okay. I apologize. Yeah, there was a workers' comp.
This is one we would have done at the end of the year, but it was questioned a lot, so we're going ahead and
That's
fixing it
yeah,
now.
because a lot of there were some people who were wondering why their
Right.
balances were out of whack. So this amendment here fixes all that.
These 2 pages will fix those.
Very
Yes.
good. All right, so this is the workers' comp. It was Director Kinlan's, I believe, is one of them that comes to mind. But
Well,
anyway,
his was, part of his was he has 2 budgets and we put one in the wrong one, so,
all right.
but yeah.
I apologize. The blue lines there, I didn't know if there was something there. All right. So the next 2 pages is an amendment similar to the format that's used during true-ups.
Right.
All right. Very good. Do I have a motion to accept the amendment as presented? I have a motion from Commissioner Slater. I have a second from Commissioner Winters. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Passes 4-0, 1 absent. All right. Thank you for that, Renee. Going on to the next budget amendment, Veterans Office. He's increasing revenue and he's increasing expenses. Oh, this is the donation from Cleveland Utilities for the water out at Fort Hill. So it's money coming in, and after we vote on this, I'll ask Lori that we looked into something. All right. I have a motion from Commissioner Winters. I have a second from Commissioner Mason. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Passes 4-0 with 1 absent. Lori, did we ever get an answer on if this is a one-time thing or ongoing? Okay,
If I could add to it,
please.
in case the others don't know, they had a meter up there that they ran across, and it had to be metered to somebody. In other words, there had to be a charge to go to somebody, and we finally agreed to let it go to our Veterans Office budget. And in return, it wasn't that Cleveland Utilities was worried about the pay for the water, it's just that it had to be metered to somebody. So it's metered to the Veterans Office in their budget, and they've agreed to do an annual $500 contribution, which is approximately what they're expecting that bill to be. So,
So
it would be ongoing.
Ongoing, okay.
It's sort of a guess amount's the only thing.
Very good. I remember when that happened. All right, so that passes. Next, a budget amendment is from the Election Commission. She's increasing the revenue and increasing expense. I believe this is a grant money coming in for the new machines. Do I have a motion to accept the amendment? I have a motion from Commissioner Slater. I have a second from Commissioner Winters. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Passes 4-0 with 1 absent. Moving on to the next budget amendment. There you see the supporting documentation for that grant. Scroll. Then we get down to page 13 as it's written on the top of the page. And this is from Hannah, Agriculture. She is increasing expenses and she is decreasing expenses. So she's moving money from one line to another in her own account. Very good. Do I have a motion to accept the amendment? I have a motion from Commissioner Slater. I have a second from Commissioner Mason. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those say no. Passes 4-0, 1 absent. Then we get to page 14, Bradley County EMS, increase in expenses and decrease in expenses. So it's also in the same account, moving from one line to another. Dues over to travel, $390. Do I have a motion to accept the amendment as presented? I have a motion from Commissioner Slater. I have a second from Commissioner Winters. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Passes 4-0 with 1 absent. Bradley County Fire and Rescue, Chief Jeff Stewart there. Increase in revenue, increase in expenses, so it's money coming in. This is a donation. Do I have a motion to accept the amendment as presented? I have a motion from Commissioner Slater. I have a second from Commissioner Mason. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Passes 4-0 with 1 absent. Moving on to the next one. There you see the check. Staying with Bradley County Fire and Rescue. He is increasing his revenue and he's increasing his expenses. This is from the sale of the vehicles, $5,050. Do I have a motion to accept the amendment as presented? I have a motion from Commissioner Slater. I have a second from Commissioner Mason. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Passes 4-0 with 1 absent. There you see the documentation. Bradley County Sheriff's Office. I don't have an indicator of what they're doing, but I'm assuming they're increasing the revenue and increasing expenses. They sold. Does yours have a circle or something around the?
No, I just circled it, so when I send it back over, it'll be correct. But it should be increasing revenue and decreasing expenses. They sold the scrap
So
vehicles.
it's money coming in.
Yep.
All right. They sold some vehicles or scrap metal. Do I have a motion to accept the amendment from Commissioner Winters? And I have a second from Commissioner Slater. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Passes 4-0 with 1 absent. Mayor, one quick question. It's probably more in the budget process, but they said they're going to use this money to purchase a vehicle. We'll keep note of that when they submit their budget request and ask for vehicles, because do they like include this one in here that they already going to purchase it, or?
What they've done is, I've been trying to come up with money for an ambulance. I've moved money around with some of that, and they were having a hard time finding any more of the new cars anyway, so they've agreed to wait till July they'll still have a request in July, which we'll be able to handle, I think. But this is so they can go ahead and get 1 or 2 more of the used ones, I believe. And that way they'll go ahead and do them now, and then they'll start over come July with more. They've not got near as many as they were supposed to this year.
Okay. But they've gotten quite a few over the last 3 or 4 years.
Oh, yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
All right.
And
very
they've
good.
probably got 1 more year of that kind of stuff with the money that we have.
Thank you, Mayor. Moving on to the next budget.
The
I'm
rest
sorry.
of these are in service charges.
The rest of them.
Services rendered, very good. So we'll take those as a package. All the services rendered will take us out, and there's not one behind it, right? Okay. Yeah, burn it. Go all the way to the back. What's that?
Cars.
No, yep, the last one is Lake Forest. Very good. Do I have a motion to accept the amendment as this package? I have a motion from Commissioner Winters. I have a second from Commissioner Slater. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Passes 4-0 with 1 absent.
Mylan, who was the second?
Commissioner Slater?
Okay.
Thank you. All right, going back
You do
to,
have one thing after your budget amendments, and it is an insurance deductible. And I'm asking for permission to pay it out of your line directly. It is a general, Bradley, it's a general deductible.
oh, for
Insurance.
insurance?
It is for a EEOC filing.
All right.
Mm-hmm. It was, well, yeah, it was behind your budget amendments.
Oh, I just
And I
had,
will tell you, one of the ones that I did last month, we will be taking that money back out of the sheriff's department and putting it back into your account with a budget amendment next month.
okay, so this is the $2,635.44?
Mhm.
I'm sorry.
You
I
know,
thought I heard you guys say that the services rendered was, there
Well, that
wasn't
was the
anything
last
behind it.
budget amendment that I had done. This is just a request
Yeah,
to pay.
instead of doing an amendment, we're just asking you to approve paying it out of your line,
Oh, okay.
because it doesn't go to a sheriff or ambulance or somebody like that.
Very good. So we got to pay our bills. We have a motion to pay the invoice from County Commission account 599.
Mm-hmm.
I have a motion from Commissioner Winters. I have a second from Commissioner Mason. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Passes 4-0-1. Do I need to take this one up with the full commission tonight, or
Yeah, it can be in the agenda.
it can be in the consent agenda at the next voting session? All right. That means I don't have to take anything tonight. All right, that goes back, that finishes up the budget amendments. Very good. All right. Going to our agenda, item A, I'm going to recognize Lori, and she's going to give us an update on the HCI question that came out of the last meeting. Lori?
As you know, the HCI committee voted to recommend fully funding 3 projects and partially funding 2 projects. And there was a question regarding one of the organizations and whether or not the $25,000 recommended award would violate our United Way hospital proceeds policy, which states applicants are not permitted to apply for or receive hospital funds from both Bradley County HCI and United Way HCI proceeds in the same fiscal year. Failure to observe this prohibition will result in forfeiture of grants and possible disgorgement of funds received. Carefully review the funding priorities of both bodies before applying for a grant. The executive director of the Carrying Place confirmed they did receive hospital proceeds from United Way this fiscal year, and as a result, they respectfully withdrew their project from consideration. So as a result of the new information and their withdrawal from consideration, we have $25,000 left in this grant cycle to award. Now, the Greenway received a partial award for the Phil Hour Branch Trail extension. They received $35,971 of their $50,000 request. And then Tri-State Exhibition Center also received $35,971 of their request for the community room HVAC system. And their total request is $44,307. So both of them just received partial funding. If both partial awards are increased to their full levels, then that means that there would only be $2,600 and a few dollars left that could be rolled to the next grant cycle. So I guess you all need to decide what to do with the remaining $25,000. Do you want to top off the 2 partials or do something else?
Lori, you guys understand? So the question is, do we want to top off, as Lori said, the two that were partially funded, or roll the money with next year?
I think both that you've mentioned are very much worthy receivers of this HCI. It would be, I think, worthwhile just to go ahead and move these funds to those great agencies and then let the rest move to the next year. That's a form of motion.
A motion from Commissioner Winters to fully fund the other 2 that were partially funded for the 25 remaining. Commissioner Slater.
The process going forward, that's a question that's asked? Because she submitted her full proposal, didn't she? And we got down to awarding her the money.
She did, and it is part of the process. And I think this year, the funding from United Way kind of caught the executive director of the Carrying Place off guard. In the past, they have always been funded from the other pot of money from United Way. And for some reason this year, they received funding from the hospital proceeds. It's like a one-time thing. So they've been assured that they'll go back to the other pot moving forward to allow them to apply if need be. But it's in our regulations. We cover it at the workshop. It's covered in the regulations, and I believe that it is part of either the letter of intent or application. I'd have to confirm that. But it is a question that's kind of hammered home. I think just the fact that she has never been funded out of that pot of money, it caught her off guard this year.
Well, the SAC PAC funding is always out of that pot of the money. So
Okay.
she is getting money every year out of that related to SAC Pack.
Okay.
So. Don't have-
Thank you, Commissioner Slater. Any further discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Passes 4-0, one absent. This will go to tonight, so we can get that done. I will add one thing, Chairman Winters of the Policy Committee, at your next Legal and Legislative Committee, if you would take up a review of this policy that we just ran into, I think, we should take a look at it and see if there's any tweaking or anything that we need to do with respects to this. If we need to change the form so that we don't get all the way to this point again, or change the policy, I appreciate you putting that on your
Yeah.
agenda. Yeah. Because right now it's hard, if you receive money from one or the other, I don't know, does United Way have the same policy on their side, do you know? That if they receive money from us, they can't from them? But we know for a fact that if they receive money from their HCI, their version of HCI, that they can't apply here for that same year. Anyway, if you'll do that, I appreciate it. All right, that handles that. Thank you, Lori. Next, we go to item B, and it's just an update on the budget calendar. It says here, budget request due to mayor by noon, March 18th, 2024. So that's coming up in, 2 weeks.
Mylan,
Sir.
technically, it's March the 14th at noon.
Oh, March 14th? Okay,
That's when it's due to us.
okay. And then March 18th, it comes to the full commission, the big book. Very good. So March 14th, all the departments will have their budget request into the mayor's office. On March 18th, the full commission will get the budget request, and then that's where we review, and then we get ready to call the people we have questions for into the hearing. Mr. Slater, please. Are you talking about item number 1? Number 2? That'll be, yeah, Mayor,
What's the question?
Is that a typo?
7.
Yeah, the 18th full commission meeting is at noon.
Yeah.
So it'll be that noon.
It's noon. The noon is right. It's just on Friday the 14th.
No, the 18th.
But
The Monday, since it's a full commission, and
the calendar says 7. We possibly would have
So-
it by noon, but
okay, that's kind of a typo. All right. Moving on to other business. Anybody have anything they'd like to bring up? Commissioner Slater, please.
Mayor, do we know where Cleveland Emergency Services is
Oh, yeah.
on their building related to their $100,000 ARP money?
the EMA, I think they have a
Miss Director Ramsey's project over on Wildwood.
they have a bid opening tomorrow, I believe. It's this week for sure. So yeah, it's finally going somewhere. They had to start all over from scratch, but you talking about community services agent? Yeah.
Yes.
There's a bid opening. I believe it's at 1 o'clock tomorrow.
Okay.
So if we get some bids, we'll be in good shape.
Okay. Good.
It won't take long to do it. It still should get done this budget year.
Before the end of June.
That's what I hope. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Commissioner Winters, please.
Mr. Mayor, I received informal communication from the leaders at Cleveland State that might be interested in increasing our EMS partnership, adding another 1 or 2.
More scholarships.
Interested in moving forward some with that?
That would be great, especially if they didn't increase our participation. I'll give you an update on that. I guess all that's gone through, hasn't it? Anyway, one of the first ones to receive the scholarship is no longer. They tend to take scholarships and go on to better worlds, I guess. So But we still need to keep doing them, and more of them would be good, to answer your question. There is a participation part that goes with it, but if you can talk them into adding more scholarships and not increasing participation, that'd be even better. But, we're putting together something where they commit, but
We'll talk with
it's just a piece of paper, just understand that. So, but we're gonna try to at least discourage it. But, they do it, they continue on with a pretty good paying job, and a better opportunity comes along. And you can take one of those people and put them in a doctor's office, and their hours are 9 to 5. And if they can match the pay, which I guess doctor's offices can, that's the kind of thing that's happening. So we're still needing them badly.
it. Ask for at least 5 years participation.
You know, anything, but I don't want to say a whole lot publicly, but we're going to try to do that. At least make them feel guilty if they don't do it.
I think you'd be lucky to get 5 years. Usually it's 2 years.
2 years.
All right. Anything else? No. All right. And I have to recognize anybody in the audience who wishes to speak. Grant. Yeah.
The guy on the back row wants to speak.
Exactly. All right. That finishes up that. Our next meeting will be April 1. Imagine that. That time may have to change. Anyway, April 1, 2024 is our next meeting. If there's nothing else, thank you very much. We are adjourned.